Chris Buckles stands before the clean, glowing surface of the digital dashboard. He taps a single icon, and the interface ripples, expanding into a complex web of data and light. He turns to the camera, his posture steady, his movements precise. "Welcome," he begins, his voice clear and measured, "to the platform that bridges the gap between ambition and results." He gestures toward the screen, where lines of code and marketing metrics pulse in rhythm with his words. The display is sharp, casting a soft light across his face. He swipes his hand across the interface, and the dashboard shifts, revealing a streamlined navigation menu that responds instantly to his touch. This is not just a collection of tools. It is a synchronized engine built to turn raw intent into measurable progress. He taps the screen once more, locking the display into a focused view of the ecosystem. Everything is ready. The system is live. Chris taps the screen, and the interface recedes, replaced by a timeline stretching back to 1994. He points to the two names appearing in bold text, George Koch and Sandy Hunter. This system did not appear overnight, he explains, his hand tracing the steady upward trajectory of the graph. George Koch, a former Canadian Air Force captain, brought the rigorous discipline of military aviation to the platform's core architecture. Chris pauses, emphasizing the point. Precision was the mandate from day one. Beside the technical foundation, Sandy Hunter focused on the human element. She ensured every tool, every module, and every update remained strictly centered on user growth. Chris gestures to the screen as it highlights 3 decades of consistent development. It is a rare marriage of structural rigidity and user-centric flexibility. He leans back, watching the data points shift. Most platforms chase trends, he notes, but this one was built to last. He turns back to the camera, his expression serious. 30 years of refinement have led to this exact moment. Chris taps the center of the display, and the screen splits into 3 distinct, glowing panels. The ecosystem rests on 3 pillars, he states, pointing to the first section. This is the AI suite. He swipes right, and automated agents appear, constructing a digital presence in real time. Smart agents and automated builders, he explains, that construct your digital footprint in seconds. He moves his hand to the second panel, which pulses with incoming traffic data. This is the traffic engine. It is a complex network of rotators and solo ads, specifically engineered to funnel visitors directly to your offers. He taps the final panel, revealing a library of over 150 video lessons and live workshops. This is the training and conversion system. Chris explains the purpose clearly. It turns raw beginners into capable marketers. He gestures across all 3 panels, showing how they interconnect. The AI suite builds, the traffic engine feeds, and the training system converts. He pauses, allowing the viewer to absorb the scale of the infrastructure. It is a complete, self-contained cycle. Chris steps back from the console, his posture shifting from demonstrative to reflective. He gestures to the empty space beside him. The infrastructure is robust, but the reality for most marketers is a grind. He begins to pace, ticking off the requirements. "You are one person," he says, stopping to face the camera. "You have a finite amount of time, energy, and attention." He describes the cycle of manual marketing, waking up to check stats, manually refreshing links, and losing sleep. It is a race against the clock you are destined to lose. He points to the dashboard, which remains perfectly still. If you are not there to push the buttons, the business stops. The screen behind him flickers, showing a chaotic web. This is the automation gap. He leans in, his voice dropping. You cannot scale if you are the bottleneck. He taps the glass. The chaotic web fades. You need an agent that never sleeps, never tires, and never misses a lead. Chris reaches out and presses a single glowing icon on the dashboard. The screen ripples, and a new interface window expands to fill the space. Sophia appears, her presence crisp and immediate. "Meet your new partner," Chris says, gesturing to the screen. Sophia is already moving. A notification pops up in the corner. A visitor from a different continent has just arrived. Chris steps aside, letting the system take control. Sophia greets the visitor with a precise, welcoming tone. She scans the visitor's complex query about product specifications and responds instantly, pulling data from the internal knowledge base. Chris watches the screen as the visitor moves deeper into the sales funnel. She handles the heavy lifting, he notes, while you are offline. The visitor clicks a link, and Sophia guides them through the final steps. Chris points to the real-time conversion counter, which ticks upward. He watches as Sophia closes the sale, her interface glowing with a soft, successful pulse. No fatigue, no missed leads, just consistent, autonomous performance. Chris turns back to the dashboard, his hands moving with renewed purpose. Sales are only half the battle, he says. You need the presence to back them up. He taps the screen, opening the content generation suite. The interface is clean, dominated by a single input field. Watch this. /. He drops a raw affiliate link into the slot. The system pulses, waiting for the final command. Chris scrolls through a list of design templates, his finger hovering over the options. Select a style that fits your brand. He taps a sleek, modern layout. The screen blurs for a heartbeat, and then the transformation hits. A fully realized landing page snaps into view. Chris drags his finger across the page, showing the integrated call-to-action buttons, the perfectly aligned headers, and the persuasive copy. It would take a professional designer hours to build this, he notes. But here, it is ready before you can even pour a cup of coffee. He taps the publish button, and the page goes live instantly. The AI builds the bridge, the road, and the signposts to get your audience there. Chris taps the dashboard, shifting the display to a global map view. You have the page, but now you need the eyes, he says. Visibility is the graveyard of most online businesses, but we have built the solution. He highlights the diamond URL rotator on the screen. With a single command, the system begins injecting links into a high-velocity stream of active traffic. Chris then selects the Ruby Solo Blaster. The screen erupts with data points, showing links being pushed across the entire internal network. This is not passive waiting, he explains. This is active distribution. He points to the metrics as they begin to climb. The graph shifts from a flat line to a sharp, upward trajectory. Thousands of visitors are funneled directly to the offers in real time. The system manages the rotation, ensuring every link gets maximum exposure. Chris watches the numbers stack up, his expression focused. The struggle to find your first visitor ends here. He zooms into the traffic logs. The visibility problem is solved. The engine is running at full capacity. He taps the screen one last time, locking in the traffic flow. Chris taps the screen, freezing the scrolling traffic logs mid-motion. He turns away from the glowing data, his posture shifting from the ease of a demonstrator to the intensity of a mentor. The engine is primed, he says, his voice dropping an octave. The traffic is flowing. The infrastructure you see behind me is the culmination of 30 years of trial and error. He walks toward the edge of the frame, narrowing his focus. But look closely at the dashboard. It does not move on its own. It does not make decisions. It does not force results. He gestures back at the silent, waiting interface. The system provides the bridge, but you are the one who must walk across it. He leans in, his expression hardening. Many people spend their lives looking for the perfect shortcut, only to realize that the shortcut is just a tool. The outcome depends entirely on your action. It depends on your willingness to input your link, to set your parameters, and to commit to the process. He holds the silence for a heartbeat, letting the weight of the statement settle. You have the blueprint. You have the engine. You have the audience. The only variable left is you. He turns back to the dashboard, his hand hovering over the sign-up sequence. The platform is ready. The question is, are you ready to stop watching and start building? Chris pulls a smartphone from his pocket, the screen mirroring the dashboard he just left. He swipes through the interface, his thumb moving with practiced precision. The world does not wait for you to sit at a desk, he says. This entire ecosystem is built for the palm of your hand. He taps a button, and a new account registration screen appears. clean and responsive. He fills in the fields in seconds, demonstrating the speed of the mobile workflow. You manage your business from the coffee shop, the airport, or your living room. The infrastructure is always with you. He sets the phone down and returns to the main monitor, his movements deliberate. He navigates to the final landing page, the cursor hovering over the join button. Everything you need to start is right here. The path is clear. 1. He looks into the camera one last time, his tone steady and final. If you found value in this breakdown, like, share, and subscribe to keep this content coming. We are just getting started. He steps back, and the dashboard fades to black. In its place, the Worldprofit logo rises, sharp and centered. It remains on screen, a static mark of 3 decades of consistent, results-driven digital growth. The hum of the system fades into silence.